In this video, we're going to go through the modal verb known as would. So it can be a little bit tricky because many people think, hey, look, it's would. It's the past tense of will. Yeah, that's easy. How exactly can you have the past tense of will, which is future tense? Well, let's take a look, and you'll see that it's more than just the past tense of will. Would you please point the way to the Empire State Building? Aha! Would and will are actually interchangeable, sort of like can and could. What's the difference here? Will you? Strong. Would you? Soft. More polite. So you can see in the example where you're asking, or in a situation where you're asking a question, will or would, either is fine. However, would is softer and preferred if you want to be polite. If you're the boss and you're talking to the subordinate, that is somebody below you, you can use will. Otherwise, don't go wandering around asking people to do something with will. B, in 2005, I had not known that I would end up going to a top-ranked university. All of a sudden, we have a very different sentence here, do we not? And that sentence is, or does not begin with a question, but definitely has would. And this talks about something in the past that was going to happen, a future event from the perspective or standpoint of someone in the past. So in 2005, here we are, a few years back, standing here. I didn't know I would end up, at some point in time, maybe here, going to a top-ranked university. So talking about an event in the past, imagining an event in the future, but that future has already occurred. We can use would in that case. Is that it? Well, actually, there's a few other little subtleties here. The man wouldn't help me even after I had asked. So when you use would and not, it shows that someone refused to do something in the past. He did not help me. Man would not help me. And notice the contraction there, would not becoming wouldn't. In D, I'd have called earlier if I'd known you were waiting. This sounds kind of slangy, and that's because of the double abbreviation. But there's a little bit more complexity going on here. First off, we talk about where we have this construction, which is the would have, ... means intervening words in between. I would have basically done something. This is the past or the present perfect tense. So would, present perfect tense, followed by if. In this case, we have the pronoun I, but it doesn't always have to be I, but the basic construction is would have verb if. And so an event, something that didn't happen, but could have happened, would have happened if something was fulfilled. And here, that is, I know you were waiting. And so we use this to talk about something that could have happened in the past, but didn't for some reason. Now, you may also know, and remember, so there's a little bit of subtlety going on here, that there's the double I'd. What do those I's stand for? Well, you may have learned previously that I'd stands for I had. It's a contraction of I had. It was in one of our other videos. I had have called. Does that make any sense here in the beginning? No, because I'd is also the contraction for I would. I'd have called is I would have called. So this may sound slightly slangy, but it is not. Another very important thing is, pay attention because people use this all the time, is would have. I would have called earlier. Oh, so many people say this. And some other videos, like for instance, splitting the infinitive, I talk about controversies in grammar. And there are people, can't always agree on something, but oftentimes if something is used enough, then people sometimes change their mind, depending on the logic. But would have called. Notice that construction. We've taken rid of have, which is a fine verb here to go along with the participle called. And it's changed to a what? A preposition? How can that be? And so this shifted from have to of because of the way it sounded. I would have, I would have. But makes absolutely no sense to get rid of our fine auxiliary verb have and to replace it with a preposition. Utterly nonsensical. Never do it in your writing. Any of your teachers, any educated person will catch you and will likely reprimand you. So I'm admonishing you. Do not do it. It is always I would have. I'd have is fine, but never I'd have called you or I would have called you.